So today you should be sitting in groups of 3 to 4. Everybody should have their quiz from Friday. If you were out on Friday, you should have a blank piece of paper and looking at a partners and making sure that you are working through the problems, and as they're talking, comparing their answers, you are solving them on the paper. So when you turn them back in, I have a paper from everybody with correct work on it. So we're going to talk about two major misconceptions, two major mistakes that people made. So there's groups of people who made, some of them didn't make any mistakes. Some people made a lot of the first mistake, and some of them made a lot of the second mistake. And there's a few people who made some other small errors, but I think they'll find their mistakes and they were more considered careless errors. So first I'm going to set them up. I have 2 digits times 2 digits. So I need a box here. 8 holes plus 3 tenths. Remember, even though I'm not here to be the point police, you are being careful of the points. 5 holes, 2 tenths. So today, when you're doing the second part in math, everybody's going to set up their problem like this independently and then discuss. So 5 times 8, write your problem down. 5 times 3 tenths. Make sure you copy the decimal the same way. The numbers, you copy the same place value. 2 tenths times 8 holes. 2 tenths times 3 tenths. So 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, I have 1 decimal digit, and it's a decimal digit because it's to the right of the decimal. Starting from the right, I have 1 place, decimal goes to the left. Plus, that makes logical sense. 3 dimes, 5 groups of 3 dimes will be $1 and 5 dimes. So 2 times 8 is 16. 1 decimal digit, 1 decimal digit, plus that makes sense. 8 groups of 2 dimes, 2 dimes, another group, 4 groups, 5 groups, 6 groups, 7 groups, 8 groups of dimes. These 10 dimes turn into 1 whole or $1, and then I have my 6 left over. So if we understand place value, we understand money, this should make sense. Now here is our first mistake. This is the first very common mistake. People came in, 2 times 3 and they got 6, and they just simply put a decimal there. They didn't think about place value. So a part times a part is not going to give me something larger. Tenths times tenths gives me hundredths. Pause the video and repeat with your group. Tenths times tenths gives you hundredths. Tenths times tenths gives you hundredths. So now look through all 3 problems. Did anybody else make this mistake? In this box, you did not count over it and shift to the hundredths place. Part times part gets you even smaller. Remember, we've cut up papers. We've gotten smaller. First mistake. Pause the video and talk about if you need to fix anything. All right. Here's my other mistake. Lots of people, I'm not going to write this on this piece of paper. I'm going to get a sticky note and write it. A lot of you told me that 40 holes turns into this. You lined your decimals up like this. And then down here. You told me that $40 was the same as $4. If I have 8 holes times 5 holes, there's no way I'm going to get in the $6 range, 7 range. 8 holes times 5 holes plus a little more, that's not fair to change 40 into 4 holes. 40 and 4 is not the same. So pause the video, talk with your group about why somebody might have written it this way, and hopefully somebody in your group of 3 or 4 can convince you why this is not right. Go ahead, pause the video. All right, hopefully somebody in your group was able to clarify for you that when you have a whole number, You write it like money at the bottom of a receipt, and it looks like $40. Decimals should always be lined up. Okay, so I could fill some zeros in so there's not empty spaces. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 43 and 1600ths. Look at your next 3 problems. Did you make any of those 2 major mistakes? So what I want you to do is spend the rest of your group time that the 3 to 4 of you are working together, go through and make sure everybody has corrected work. Help somebody out if they're confused. Remember, the point police is still around. Even though I'm not there, you need to be using place value words, tenths, hundredths, shifting decimals shifting place value around the decimals. Don't use point. Help people understand the decimal place value. So when you're finished, then you're to bring this to the substitute, and they're going to give you a piece of paper for your next steps today, and be sure the technology gets put away.